What's good everyone, my name is Chefkoch and today we're going to revisit a once very popular subgenre of Atlanta rap, Futuristic Swag. The reason I'm making this video is because I currently witness an actual resurgence of Futuristic Swag with mixtapes like A Futuristic Summer by Metro Boomin, but I saw that this tape received very bad critiques online, probably due to the fact that most Metro and Rap Caviar fans don't know what Futuristic Swag even is. So I thought of revisiting the subgenre 15 years after its peak to introduce new rap fans to Futuristic Swag. And for those of you who are already familiar with it, sit back and enjoy this nostalgic trip to the past. First of all, we of course need to understand what Futuristic Swag actually is and where it came from. Futuristic Swag is a melodic form of trap that emerged in the late 2000s in Atlanta, and in contrast to the usual trap music of that time, which was dominated by Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy, who used aggressive beats and rapped about the street life, Futuristic Swag took a more playful, snap-influenced and party-oriented approach to trap. The instrumentals featured a lot of trumpet or brass instruments, bright synths, glossy arpeggios, snapping hi-hats and booming 808s, but with a lighter and playful swing. In addition to their spacey and lighter beats, futuristic rappers frequently employed sing-rapping with a lot of autotune, catchy hooks, joyful ad-libs and fun lyrics about partying, being well-dressed and getting women. So despite some of the futuristic rappers growing up in harsh conditions, they decided to focus on positive and fun records because they wanted their listeners to have a good time. Next to that, Futuristic Swag rappers had a very distinctive clothing style. They wore skinny jeans, snapbacks and everything had to be very colorful, and their outfits are mostly influenced by the hipster culture. A clear contrast to the other hip-hop fashion trends at the time, because the super alternate theme of Futuristic Swag was black teenagers dressing like typical white teenagers of that era. Sonically, it is fair to say that regular trap artists like Gucci Mane, T.I. and Young Jeezy, as well as Soulja Boy's Kiss Me to the Phone, laid the foundation for Futuristic Swag. Yet the genre originally was pioneered by J Money and Young LA in 2008 with songs like First Name Last Name or And I. As you can hear, especially Leland's vocals were always very experimental and unique, and they fit perfectly on the futuristic instrumentals. But staying with Young LA, as further essential releases we have his mixtapes I Think I Can Sang from 2009, as well as Sancho's Leland from 2010. And next to that we have LA's collab tapes that deserve a mention, especially Black Boy Swag White Boy Tags with Young Dro, and Batman and Robin with J Money from 2009. I especially like the song Dash Na 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 on here. Now let's move on to the second pioneer, J Money aka J Futuristic. He was the first one to label his music and his lifestyle as futuristic, and without him I doubt that Futuristic Swag would have gotten as big as it got. Essential records by J Money include Trapper of the Year from 2008 and Mr. Futuristic from 2009, but I especially like the tape Mr. Miyagi from 2010, and my favorite song in here has to be Sauce. With J Money's music, it is very visible that Futuristic Swag really was made for clubs and house parties, which makes sense because J Money would tell his producers to make his beat sound like a trap carnival, so that's the reason why Futuristic Swag sounds so festive. And next on the list, let's talk about Travis Porter. Travis Porter is a hip-hop collective consisting of their brothers Ali and Quez and their friend Strap, who also were essential Futuristic Swag artists, and some of their best records include I'm a Differenter and the sequel I'm a Differenter 2 from 2009. I especially like the song Aha. Other highlights of Travis Porter's discography include a collab tape with Waka Flocka Flame titled Streets Are Us from 2009, their mixtape Proud to Be a Problem from 2010, and their album From Day One from 2012. Moving on from one collective to another, we also have the Fast Life Youngsters, or in short Fly, consisting of Michael McFly, V and Mook, and they made a great Futuristic Swag record titled Jamboree in 2009 that needs to be mentioned, especially the song Gotta Be goes hard. Now let's move on to the Rich Kids, another essential group for Futuristic Swag. You can see all original members on the screen right now, and they released a lot of great mixtapes like Money Swag, as well as 24/7 from 2009. And next to that we have Straight Like That, as well as We Supposed to Stop But We Didn't from 2010. Interestingly enough, the rich kids actually are gaining new traction in 2025 because Calvin Crash and OG Volta sampled Bent Over from this tape. For artists like Wheezy from I Am Music, so their influence is still visible today. And next on the list we have Roscoe Dash. He's another important figure in the futuristic era due to his feature on No Hands by Waka Flocka, as well as his record Ready Set Go from 2010 with the mega hit All The Way Turned Up featuring Soulja Boy. As you can hear, All The Way Turned Up doesn't have your classic futuristic swag instrumental because there actually is an electric guitar melody, but it still goes hard and proves that there were multiple sonorities during the futuristic era. This is also visible with the Shop Boys, who went viral with Party Like a Rockstar, which is an even better mix of futuristic swag with rock music. For further essential futuristic releases, I also want to mention the Space Invaders mixtape series by DJ Spins and DJ Pretty Boy Tank, as well as Future's early mixtapes like Pluto from 2012 for example, which included a lot of futuristic swag songs. And fun fact, fellow Atlanta prodigy Young Thug actually got into the rap scene by making futuristic swag music back in 2010 with Cash Out on the track I Got It. And I got to say, that track still goes insanely hard today.
If a nigga want a whole brick, we got it. We ain't getting money, man, boy, you need to stop.
Now, we talked about a couple of futuristic swag rappers already, but there of course are a lot more important artists for the subgenre such as Gorilla Zoe, Montana the Mac, Rocco, Shorty Low, RP to him, the Stack Money Boys, YC, Young Dro, Young Book, Young Ralph, and many more. In addition, we can't forget to mention the producers because they deserve most credit for creating such an interesting subgenre as futuristic swag. And the most essential beatmakers include DJ Spins, the producer duo FKI, Casey the Beat Monster, Mr. 217, Narden B, and Zaytoven. With that, we covered all the artists and producers I wanted to talk about, and as you can see, futuristic swag had a relatively short lifespan, mostly disappearing after 2012, so that leaves us with the question, why did it die out in the first place? Well, in my opinion, the fact that there were at least 4 different subgenres of rap going on at the same time in Atlanta automatically meant that not every genre would be able to prevail. Retrospectively, only regular trap was able to take off globally, and artists like Future and Young Thug became the new frontrunners of Atlanta rap and brought the sound into a whole new direction. Meanwhile, futuristic swag lost its hype and faded back into the underground. Yet the futuristic era actually was pretty influential on modern rap music, so now let's break down the impact of futuristic swag. The subgenre influenced many rappers directly, such as Future and Young Thug, but also Speaker Knockers, and arguably even the legendary track Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. Next to that, Chief Keef was also heavily influenced by the subgenre and later turned it into his own style, therefore futuristic swag can also be credited as a forerunner of Chicago bop music, which basically is a more aggressive version of futuristic swag, but that subgenre deserves its own video. Other than that, rap collectives like Ocean Gang took the hazy, sing-songy vocals of futuristic swag and expanded its sonic aesthetics to add production with ephemeral and intimate styles that laid the groundwork for cloud rap and pluggnb. What also needs to be mentioned is that futuristic swag helped to normalize autotune as a permanent texture in hip-hop as a whole. And before futuristic swag, trap was mostly dark, gritty and street-oriented, but thanks to the futuristic era, trap music also developed into something more accessible, playful and cosmic. And interestingly enough, despite the original disappearance of the genre, there currently is an actual futuristic swag resurgence going on. Mostly due to Metro's Futuristic Summer and Playboi Carti sampling the Rich Kids, and the group actually is now active again and dropping new music. So the Rich Kids are actually partaking in a revival of futuristic swag, which is great to see. In addition, the mashup tape Black Mass Music from 2025 is another great example for this resurgence, because on here, producer Black Mass combined Carti's modern trap approach from I Am Music and fused it together with classic futuristic swag and snap type instrumentals. More proof for this revival is visible on songs like Banner Summer and Atlanta by pluggnb, as well as on the instrumental of D Mullah's Blow My High, which all are viral tracks from 2025 which clearly are reminiscent of the futuristic era as well. Therefore, we can conclude that futuristic swag's comeback is part nostalgia, part innovation. It represents a break from trap's darkness. I think that current rap audiences are becoming tired of gangster rap and the drill aesthetic and therefore again crave something more colorful and playful. So the futuristic era already is nostalgic for a lot of the current rap listeners, probably because the era brings people back to simpler and happier times in their lives. In addition, futuristic swag completely fits into our digital zeitgeist. And as culture obsesses over futurism, cyber aesthetics and virtual identities, futuristic swag feels like the perfect soundtrack. And lastly, Atlanta rap has always dictated the next wave, and this revival shows how deep its stylistic palette runs. Atlanta had the rap game in a chokehold since the late 2000s with crunk, snap, futuristic swag and regular trap music going on at the same time in the city, and ATL managed to stay relevant until today with its music scene, which is highly impressive. So as a conclusion, futuristic swag remains a very underrated yet influential subgenre, and its impact was to expand the possibilities of trap, sonically, visually and culturally. And with the recent resurgence, there still might be hope for futuristic swag since the genre sounds incredibly nostalgic nowadays, and in my opinion it didn't reach its full potential yet. I hope that I was able to introduce you to futuristic swag with this video. Maybe you can even enjoy more of Metro's futuristic summer album now that you're up to date with the original era, but leave a comment down below which artist I forgot to mention, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can hit 2000 subscribers before the end of the year. Cheers!